What's going on, guys? JJ here, bringing you another Elder Scrolls 6 discussion video. Now, before we get into the video, I just want to say, do me a favor and check out my Star Wars Battlefront video, where I talk about Heroes and Villains mode being confirmed for the next Battlefront game. Now, let's get right into the video. As you guys see, based off my title, will the Elder Scrolls 6 have a voice protagonist? Now, there are different ideas to this, and I was actually surprised from a lot of the Elder Scrolls YouTubers that I watch. There haven't been many ideas talking about whether this is going to happen or not. Another thing I want to say before we get into a lot of the discussion, this won't be too long, just so you know. This video will probably not be longer than 8 minutes. These are based off my own opinions and speculations. None of this is true. None of this has been confirmed. None of this has been said by any of the developers or anyone like God Howard or Pete Hines. Now, right off the bat, Fallout 4 now has a voice protagonist. Whether you're a female or a male lead character, you have a voiced character now. From what we know, there is only one voice character for each. There's only one voice actor and actress for each, the male and female. There's not multiple, so you only have one pick. Whether you want to be a male, you get the same voice, female, the same voice. So now we have to incorporate that in the Elder Scrolls 6. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I thought to myself, hey, you know, Bethesda's going down this road of having a voice protagonist in Fallout 4. What's not making them do it for the Elder Scrolls 6? This is why I had to make this video, because not a lot of people have been talking about this. And you got to look at it from different ways. A lot of people had mixed reactions to the whole Fallout 4 having voice protagonists when it was confirmed at E3. Even the trailer 2 weeks before E3, people were talking about whether or not they'd have a voice protagonist, how they feel about it. You know, you have the group of people like me who are still iffy about it, but don't mind, but at the same time, we don't really know how we feel. Then you have the people who are like, you know what, I like that. I love Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Witcher. It works so good in those games. I don't see why it won't work in a Bethesda game. Then you have the people who are full on, this ruins the Fallout experience. This is nothing like a Bethesda game. I'm so disappointed. I will not buy this. And then they end up buying it anyways when it comes out. Now, you look at this and you have to say to yourself, first of all, how do you feel about voice protagonists in video games that are RPG based, where you pick a dialogue option? And then you look at Fallout 4's dialogue system, and it reminds me a lot, and it probably reminds a lot of you guys of the Mass Effect 4 system, where it gives you a few words, and then you click it, and then it turns out to, it's the same, it's based off those 3 words, but it's a full-on sentence, or 2 sentences, or multiple sentences of dialogue, which a lot of people don't like, and then some people like. For me personally, I like something like The Witcher, where he gives you a line of what you're going to say, and you basically say that exactly on point, and then sometimes they'll add a few extra lines. Where in Mass Effect / what we saw at the E3 conference for Fallout, say for example, one of the dialogue options is, fuck you. It'll all of a sudden be like, go fuck yourself to the ends of the world and back. I hate you no matter what. And he's like, oh, I just wanted to say go fuck you. Why'd you do all that extra stuff? So that's the thing that people don't like about this kind of dialogue system. But at the same time, you just gotta deal with it in some video games because it's not too bad. So, back on track to what this means for the Elder Scrolls 6. When you look at a game like Elder Scrolls, you have all this freedom as a role player, as someone who takes on the character in that game. Just like Fallout 3 and New Vegas, you have full line sentences of what you're gonna say. And that's what your character is saying. There's no changes to the script. There's nothing. Whoever you're talking to responds based off of what you exactly said. Of course, there's no voice character, which makes you immerse yourself as the own character. You are that character. What you just said is coming from you. Where if you say something else and it's coming out from another voice, it sounds, you breaks that immersion sometimes, but at the same time, it's okay. So, but anyways, you look at Elder Scrolls and you say, can you make it work just like you're trying to make it work from Fallout? First thing you gotta take is, how are the fans gonna act for the Fallout 4 protagonist? Like we just talked about, there are mixed reactions right now in the community on whether or not they like it or not. But the real stuff isn't gonna happen till till after the game comes out, till after the reviews are out, until after people have spent hours upon hundreds of hours of playing Fallout 4. We're not gonna know how it works directly into that game and how people feel directly about it. So if it comes out, November 11th, and then people play it for weeks, including me, and we love the dialogue system, we don't hate it, and we think it's actually pretty darn good, then I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be in the next Elder Scrolls game. And then you also have to look at the development. A lot of these Bethesda games usually have anywhere from 2 to 4 years of span time apart. All right, so I don't see the Elder Scrolls 6 coming out until about 2 to 4 years from now. I don't think it'll be too long because I think it's definitely going to come out on this generation of platforms with the Xbox One and PS4, and I think more than 5 years would just be too long down the road, and it has to come out within the next 2 to 3, 4 years or so. I'm thinking about 2017, that's my guess right now, but that obviously is just based off my own things. So when you look at something like that, are people going to love it in the Fallout 4 game? Then hell yes, they're going to add it in the Elder Scrolls 6. If people hate it in Fallout 4 and all they do in reviews is complain about it, they're like, this game is an amazing game, amazing experience, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, would have gotten a 10 out of 10 if you can have your own damn voice, which is highly unlikely. Then no, they're not going to have it in that game. Another thing you have to look at for the Elder Scrolls compared to Fallout is, as much as these games are alike, you know, Fallout is basically the new Fallouts by Bethesda is basically Elder Scrolls in an apocalyptic wasteland in the United States with guns and stuff like that. Where Elder Scrolls, of course, is in a fantasy world and stuff like that. So when you look at Elder Scroll characters compared to Fallout 4 characters and Fallout 3 characters and all that stuff, Fallout characters are humans. They're all humans except for the super mutants and the ghouls and stuff. But you can only make a human male or a human woman, and they have the same voices no matter what. Where in Elder Scrolls, you can make an orc male, an orc female, a Khajiit male, a Khajiit female, a Redguard male, a Redguard female, a regular Nord, a regular Breton, an Imperial. Heck, they might add another class, an Argonian, and all those races and, you know, species and whatever you want to call them have different voices. Where an orc, they talk very deep and like, what are you doing? And stuff like that, you know what I mean? Where a normal human talks like me, which would be, and Nord would have a sort of more an accent. These guys have all different types of accents, where the other species, the Khajiits, talk very sarcastically a little bit, and they have sort of that, I don't know what's Middle Eastern, I guess, sort of tongue. And then the orcs talk very deep and growly, and the Imperials talk all fancy. I mean, not the Imperials. The Thalmor talk all fancy and stuff, and the Argonians talk with like raspy voices. So it would mean a lot from a development team to have that many voices incorporated into a game, because you got to think about it like this. Let's take 4 voices: Khajiit, Nord, Orc, and Argonian. That means 4 different male voice actors, because I doubt they're going to get one guy to do every single different race and species, and 4 different female voice actresses, because I doubt they're going to get one woman to do every single voice. Because if you look at that, there's just so many varieties of characters that you can make in that game, where there's going to be so many different voices. So I don't know if they would be able to do that. I mean, obviously it's Bethesda and it's a great company, so they can do it if they want. But you got to think about the span of time and how much effort and more time that takes to add into the game. Then you have to change the scripts for different races, because different races are going to say different things. Depending on their race, they're going to have different reactions, different responses. Other people you're talking to in the game are going to have different reactions and responses to your race and stuff. So you got to add that stuff, and that comes into play as well when you're making voice characters for a game like Elder Scrolls. So sorry guys, I really didn't mean for this video to be longer than like 7 minutes or 6 minutes, but it went on longer than I wanted. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for this being a late upload. If it wasn't, then I probably uploaded this Tuesday mid-afternoon. If not, I uploaded this Monday night. So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.